Well, hey everybody, Pastor Roger back for another Freedom Journey Devotional. It is Wednesday. Yes, it's Hump Day, and we are in the middle of a series I'm calling Grace Training or being trained in grace. It's based on a couple of sentences in a letter that the Apostle Paul wrote to a young pastor on the island of Crete, a very wicked island, place where there were lots of hurts, habits, and hang-ups, lots of addictions, lots of perversion. And this young pastor leading churches on that island. And Paul writes this letter, and in the letter he says this, he says, "For the grace of God has appeared, and it offers salvation for all people." And then it says this, it says it teaches them, or it trains them, or it equips these people to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions. In other words, to go against what the culture is accepting and to accept what God is saying. He says it teaches us, grace teaches us, it trains us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in the present age. Well, isn't that a wonderful definition of what recovery is? Isn't recovery a training to say no to ungodliness, to worldly passions? Isn't it training us to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age? And what I see in this passage is I see three works of grace in our life that transforms us into not just the person stuck in recovery, but the recovered person. It does an inward work. We talked about that on Monday. The inward work of an uprightness, the inward work of self-control, if you will, and the inward work that it talks about here teaches us to say no to those passions. It teaches us to say no to the impulsiveness that has captured our life. But the second word is self-controlled, and then the second word is uprightness. Well, what is uprightness? Well, uprightness is the outward, visible signs that we are being transformed by God's grace. The words like integrity, developing an honesty and authenticity to our lives. It's what results from the inward decision to be self-controlled, to get our passions and our lusts that are worldly out of us and believe God. In other words, I said on Monday, I said this isn't just about saying no to our hurts, habits, and hang-ups. It is learning to say yes to God's grace, which is undeserved. It is unmerited. It is God giving us what we do not deserve, what we do not and cannot earn in our life. And so this uprightness is the transforming work of grace through the Holy Spirit in our life that is now outward. And I see in so many of our people that we work with here in our community that have been struggling with drugs and alcohol and other kinds of hurts, habits, and hang-ups. I see that transforming work starting to show up in their life, that outward part of them. But it begins with that inward decision of the self-controlled life and then results in this uprightness. There's a word that is used often in the Bible, and that is the word righteous, that we're to live these righteous lives. Well, what is a righteous life? Well, it's not perfection. I can tell you that. But a righteous life is to be in right standing with God. Living the righteous life means that we have cleared the decks. We've stepped 4, we've stepped 9 in our lives, and we're keeping a daily inventory of our lives as we talk about and celebrate recovery. So I want to encourage you again with these words that grace trains us to say no. Grace, the power of God at work in our life, the transforming power of God to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, to live self-controlled, upright, or righteous lives, and to live godly lives while we wait, Paul says, for the blessed hope. Listen, Freedom Journey exists to help fight this epidemic of addiction that is truly destroying our communities and nation, to work with people, to help them find solutions. We're here. You can catch up with us on the web at freedomjourneyhelp.org. That's freedomjourneyhelp.org. We would love to pray for you as well. Would you leave me a comment below? Send me a private message. Tell me how I can be specifically praying for you. Have a blessed Hump Day Wednesday, and we'll talk again on Friday, and we'll do the third part. We've done inward and outward. We'll do the third part, and that is upward. God bless you. Have a great day.